Fortnite is a game I think we're all familiar with by now. It's the classic 100-player battle royale that I really think sparked the free-to-play revolution of games. And by that I mean that after Fortnite's massive success, every other game went free-to-play. So that's what we're going to be talking about in this video, with the rise of Fortnite, how it influenced other games, and the eventual downfall, and what they can do to bring it back. Let's get started. When the game first released in 2017, it was only meant to have one single game mode, and that was the campaign, Save the World. Save the World is pretty much your average zombie game. But that's not what brought Fortnite its success. It was actually the Battle Royale that they released a few months after the release of the actual game. Emerging streamers like Ninja really started to play the game, and I think that's what made the game popular. If you look up the term Fortnite in Google Trends, you'll see that it peaked around the beginning of 2018. At this point, me and my friends were really enjoying the game and having a good time. There was updates almost every single week, and YouTubers helped keep the game interesting. But if you take a good look at the Google Trends, you'll see that the game started to die down around summer 2018. I think this has something to do with people getting really good at the game and kind of ruining it for more casual players. I myself was probably one of those players. In fact, I have a ton of montages privated on this YouTube channel. But eventually, like most other people had already done, I left the game. Epic wasn't updating the game as much, and YouTubers and streamers started playing different games. Epic knew that their player base was dwindling, and as a result, they released Chapter 2. Chapter 2 introduced a new map, new vehicles, and a ton of more sweaty kids. The game had turned into a competitive nightmare. I remember just getting stomped on by brain-dead 12-year-olds. I'm not even joking, half these kids were on the verge of going pro. To reduce the sweatiness, Epic decided to add in arena and tournaments. I think this worked pretty well. I started seeing more positive things about the game, so I decided to come back and try it out. The game just felt more casual again. But there was one problem, and that was the items and guns in the game. Every single game, all you'd find was an AR, an RPG, and a sniper. And as it probably sounds, things got boring real quick. And shortly after the release of Chapter 2, the game died again. Season 1 of Chapter 2 is viewed as one of the worst seasons of Fortnite. And I think I have to agree with that. But Chapter 2 Season 2 rolled around, and I guess things got a little bit more interesting for a little bit. This season introduced NPCs in the game, which has never been seen before. I think this could have been a great season, but COVID hit. And as if the update schedule wasn't already terrible, this just made updates almost never happen, which again led to more people getting bored and leaving the game. Chapter 2 Season 3 had kind of a summer vibe to it, and I'm not gonna lie, it was the first season I was excited for a very long time. After weeks of delays, they finally decided to release the new season. I think this is one of the better seasons we've gotten recently. It featured new NPCs, new battle pass, everything you'd expect from a new Fortnite season. But they made one very controversial change, and that was removing the pump shotgun. I personally hated this. To me, the pump was the only fun gun in the game. They replaced it with the charged shotgun, which is kind of like the pump, except you need to charge it so it does more damage. It's kind of hard to explain. My point is, a lot of people did not like it. But on the upside, COVID started to die down a little bit, and so Epic employees could get back to their jobs. Updates weren't coming as regularly as they used to, but it was better than nothing. Overall, I think the season was perceived pretty well. But then Chapter 2 Season 4 came. I'm gonna be honest, I have no clue what's happening. They completely just broke off from the storyline they've been working on for almost 3 years. Instead, they just added Iron Man and Thor and all those Marvel heroes you'd expect to see. I know this definitely annoyed some people. I'm recording this video on November 9th, 2020, and I'm saying that because COVID's kinda starting to get bad again. Shutdowns are happening again all over the country, and I think it's starting to impact Epic Games. I wouldn't be surprised if Season 5 didn't come for another month or two, even though it's scheduled for November 30th. But that's a summary of Fortnite and all 14 seasons we've seen so far. So let's talk about the possible causes of the downfall. As I've already said in this video, I think it has something to do with the sweatiness of the game. When I see complaints about the game online, it's almost always about this. People saying if you want to try hard, then go into arena, and if you want to play casually, then just play casually. And I have to say, I do agree with this. But almost every game I play, every single time I get killed, I just get danced on. And I know it's very petty, but it's just so annoying. Like wow, you killed someone in a casual match who had no gun! Good job! Anyways, let's get back to the video. So far I've talked about how sweaty and toxic the game can be, so let's talk about the matchmaking. Fortnite uses skill-based matchmaking, which a lot of games do, but I know a lot of people are not a fan of it. A lot of the time their reasoning is that Smurfs come down to the lower ranks and just kind of stomp on the newer players. I think skill-based matchmaking is super controversial just because of all the upsides and downsides to it. I'm personally in between liking it and disliking it. Like I've already said, it has its ups and downs. And the final cause of the downfall of Fortnite I wanted to talk about was Epic Games themselves. As you've probably already heard, Epic Games had gotten into a dispute with Apple over some sort of monopolizing the market or something, and so Fortnite is not available on mobile devices anymore. I think this is just an example of how Epic's behavior impacts the game. They seem to be a very greedy company, which no one likes. Around Season 7, I switched from PlayStation to Xbox, and I think this is before crossplay was a thing, and so I couldn't get my PlayStation stuff onto my Xbox, and for some reason it ended up just deleting my PlayStation account, deleting probably $1,000 worth of skins. Now I know this probably wasn't Epic Games' fault and more Sony's, but the way that they responded to my situation was just horrendous. I contacted both Sony and Epic Games, and Sony was, I guess, a little polite with their response. Epic Games just basically said that I was dumb and it was my fault. And even after being treated like that, being the gullible kid I was, I poured even more money into the game. Actually, the account you see in the background is the account I was just mentioning. So to sum this part up, Epic Games is not a very good company, at least from my experience. And so with that being said, let's talk about how this game could come back from the dead. And I have a really short answer to that. Bring back what made the game good. By that I mean bringing back old guns, maybe even the old map. Even if it's just certain locations, it would mean a lot. And as of right now, Fortnite is still on the steady decline, and this is not looking very good. So that is going to wrap up today's video. It's been a little tough to upload recently just because I've had a lot of big school projects. But as I get through those, I plan on making more videos in the future. And if you enjoyed today's video, then please consider leaving a like and subscribing, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.